so grateful for each and every person being here. You bring the magic flame that we connect together, and as we bring our flames together, the flame shoots even higher. And each person that shows up with their goals in their hearts and in their minds, and these two things connected, that resonation carries forward to every person in this group, and we all get to our goals faster. So we have all put together our goals, I believe, at this point, and we're going to share our progress, and then at the end, we will rank our progress and talk about sort of feedback. Feedback is welcome from any member in the group, as far as anything that can help us get there together in a more beautiful way. Is there anyone who would like to start? And also, whenever you start, you can share your goals. So if nobody wants to go first, I can go ahead and go.
All right.
I'll just say thanks, Kudasol, for hosting, and thanks everybody. Excited for the meeting. And I'm also working on getting my I'm writing my thing more properly, so I'm more connected this season. So I'll get this together and ready to go soon.
Oh, you kind of got muted at the end there, but yeah, you can slap it together real quick if you want to. I think that your goals were to connect and continue in music, so I look forward to see how that manifests.
Sounds great. I agree, and thank you very much.
All right, guys. So for my connection goal, I want to connect with similar projects to projects that I own and build sort of mutual benefit relationships. And the reason I'm doing this is that I want my ideas to have the maximum positive impact on the planet. And sorry, I'm going to mute some people because I'm getting background. So I want these ideas to have maximum positive impact. And when you have a lot of like idea babies, you really just want to watch them grow up. And it's easy to sort of protect your idea babies and like, because you think that they're going to get hurt. But like the expanding belief is to share these ideas and to, to watch them grow. So I'm working through a lot of like letting go of myself and also letting go of ideas that I have about my ideas and projects, and trying, failing, trying different to incorporate people and incorporate ideas in a better way, to get over my own sort of limitations as far as what I'm good at and my sort of like personality quirks as well, and have these serve me and serve mutual benefit relationships for these projects. So anyway, the metrics are to communicate these projects, to have clear goals, and those goals related to collaboration, and then using roles to empower people to get what they want as well as to get what we want as well. And okay. So what I did this week, the biggest thing that I did is I put up a grant proposal for the ENF. And this is for the project Tetra. And Tetra is basically the evolution of CXC. We're sort of going to be building on top of the CXC economy. We're going to have airdrops related to CXC and kind of re-envision CXC instead of just being a platform for music, that it can be a platform for social projects, that it can be a platform for locational economic systems that are geared towards growth. So along with that, in order to build that technology, I reached out to the ENF and, officially applied for a grant. Let me see if I can find it to share. If I don't find it right now, I'm just going to add it at the end, although I did just find it. So other than that, that's the only thing I really did to move forward. Although we did have we had a Souls Fest, which is something I've been doing for like 9 years, and this was really the best one. And shout out to Alejandro for organizing and bringing all the people here to the house. And we had a great time, but also I feel like I didn't do any sort of thing towards the connection, towards the projects while I was there. So I feel like I've got a lot of stuff to improve in the coming weeks. Yeah, but I did do something as well. So that's what I have. Any short feedback, or else we can move on to the next person if anybody wants to volunteer to go next.
Also, the connection of the programmers. That's also part, like, can be an important connection for Tetra.
Okay, I'm not sure if that was this past week. I guess it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did reach out for programmers for Tetra as well, although that was kind of last week.
Congrats. This sounds awesome. I'm looking forward to reading this. I have a bunch of questions I could ask, but I can save them for another time. I'm curious. I'm curious because I'm also applying for ENF grants, which is a bit outside the scope of this discussion, so I won't go too much in detail. But if you want to share any more details about that at some point, I'd be very happy to hear. And then I'm just wondering, is the best place to learn about this by reading the GitHub? I see you have a YouTube video linked from about a year ago where you went through it. Like, is there any place you recommend to learn more about this, just to read the this grant framework, or are there any podcasts? Are you planning to publish any additional content where I can learn more as well? Or
are you talking about Tetra or about the grant?
Tetra, well, the grant is for Tetra, right? And so Tetra and the grant, I see there's a website too. It looks nice, tetra.earth. Ooh la la. So this is the website. So yeah, just both in general. What do you suggest if I want to learn more about what Tetra is and stuff like that?
So we haven't published a lot about it yet. We're kind of still working on the foundational documents, but there's a lot to learn about like CXC and building up to that. I wrote the Web 4 paper. I'm not sure if you've read that by now, but the Web 4 paper sort of lays out what the ideological fundamentals are. And yeah, like the thing about it is you can get really technical into like exactly how it works, but I think it's more important just to sort of step into the idea of what alternative economic systems can look like. And if you really want to get it, it's to understand what a time token is and how we can give people power over time with this time token. Anyway, Dan, I'd love to circle back and answer any more questions about that at the end, but I do want to sort of move on because we've been 10 minutes in the process and I'm the only one that went so far.
Sounds good.
So is that okay?
Yep, sounds excellent. Thank you. Looking forward to discussing this further in the future. And
okay, perfect.
Everybody else too.
And would anybody like to volunteer to go next?
Sure.
Okay, I was gonna pick you anyway, Dwayne. So good.
Let me know if some background noise, if it gets too noisy, just let me know. I can ask him to stop.
Go Dwayne. I'm sorry. I'm just getting excited.
Perfect. So goal is I'm in Costa Rica, and in February I had a best friend from Canada come down, and we had a big monumental birthday. So we decided that we're flatlanders, and even though I've been down here, I haven't learned how to surf. So we took the month and surfed every day. Kind of blew away our surf instructor and everyone else and myself, because it was very it was a little bit too much, to be honest. But my buddy got me excited to get out there and learn, paid and took a lot of lessons. And since he's left, I was going surfing a couple times a week, and now it went down to like nothing. So that was my goal, is to get back up to surfing 3 times a week if I can. I don't know how long I'll be here. And right now, this last week, I took my first steps unexpectedly to surf more, which was actually not surfing. My goal was to get out a couple times to surf. What ended up happening is I moved from my location that was only 20 minutes from the beach in the middle of the rainforest. It was a beautiful home, my home for 2.5 years. So I'm very sad to leave it. But now I am, let's see if I can take this off. I am I'm not sure, but that's the beach. That's the ocean. So I have no excuse now. I'm house sitting till December, and the beach to surf at is 5 minutes down the road. So I've been distracted by moving my stuff to this house and setting up altars, setting up my little gym, setting up everything to like get prepared. But I don't think you should give me too many points for all of that because the main goal was to surf, and I didn't get out there. But I did start the stats. I was thinking, how do I validate to you guys? How do I, how am I actually doing this? Besides that, maybe some of you know me, like Gudasol and Dan know I'm a trustworthy guy, but I could just bullshit and say, oh, I surfed. But I took some stats, and I'm pretty shy with taking off my shirt and like taking those kind of pictures. But I did that. I took like the initial stat. I'm like, here's base 0. And in like a bunch of weeks, I want to be like a little bit more fit. Took my weight, and I was really surprised. I lost a lot of weight, so I want to gain weight. And then also stats of like how much exercises I can do right now, like push-ups, sit-ups, chin-ups. And I was kind of just depressed on like how many I was actually able to do. So it's everything's going to be, I'm excited to like improve on all of that. And then why I'm doing all this is I have incredible goals. Like Gudasol, I want to work with your project. I have a lot of work ambitions, a lot of other stuff, but I have to be my best self. And my best self has to be like the healthiest self. And there's a lot of things that are going to contribute to the surfing. Like in the background, I'm going to be meditating. I'm going to be eating really good. I'm going to be exercising. I'm going to be meditating. So I need all that to go out and surf. Like I just can't go out there without having enough energy or being centered and calm or being like on my game. So it might seem like, oh, surfing, it's just surfing. Well, it's a lot for me to get out there and, also sometimes team up with somebody, sometimes not. So yeah, excited to have an audience to keep me like peer pressure is good for me to keep me on my goals. And I'm excited for this week that I'll report back and get out there a couple of times because there's no excuse. It's like right there. So thanks. Up. Anyone want to go next?
That place looks awesome. I think we're all very stoked for you. And I like that you took some baseline measurements. So I'm going to give you, I definitely will give you credit for that. I didn't see if did anybody say to go next? Or if not, you can go ahead and pick some.
Dwayne's also wearing a surfing hat too, which I'll note. This is appreciated and respected by me.
All right. Dan, you want to go next?
Well, thanks, Dwayne, for what you said. Like, I really like it, and I resonate a lot with that. Like, I'm also like in a similar process, which is not my goal here, but yeah, thank you for that. So yeah, nice. I can go next if you want.
Perfect. Awesome.
Okay. Oh, what? Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, you bet.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I don't know. It just got freeze, but yeah. Well, so my goals, or my goal is to make connection and like the best connections and strategic connections, for the album that I'm going to release, with my band, like in 3 weeks. It's almost there. So also, I follow like the advice that Gurasol gave me, about, put some metrics on my goals. So I did that. So I want to have like probably like 10 between 10,000 and 20,000 listeners, like monthly listeners in platforms. And I also create some metrics for the Instagram, for the reels that we are going to post, and the YouTube, videos. And about connections, as Gurasol said, like we did like a Soul Fest this weekend, and I will jam with a lot of musicians, with a lot of people that is like really talent. and I made like this small session of like listening the album, some of the tracks of the album. And yeah, I think that a lot of good musicians really like the album and gave me the feedback. And yeah, it's kind of connection of, like how to create and build up like a fan base. So somehow I felt that I was creating that. And also, I'm doing like a small chart with a lot of contacts of promoters, people that works on festivals and important festivals, like in an international level or just a national level. So yeah, I'm just trying to collect like all this type of information, and then when the album is going to be like out, I'm going to text them and prepare like a kind of a message to send them. So yeah, that's kind of my what I've been doing. And yeah, that's all.
Thank you, Ombre. Can you like just so your connection goal is to connect things with the music project? I think I missed that at the beginning, but I did get your metrics, which I think
Yeah,
are
yeah,
really
yeah,
good.
yeah. It's about really like, I mean, the album is called Expansions, so it's like to honor that name.
Okay.
It's to expand the album, like to really got like as an like as it's not about recognize or recognition. It's about more like about connect people with the album, like connect people and to bring the light that the album got like to the people, like an as like an at international level, but also like as a national level, but also international level.
Okay.
So yeah.
Perfect. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. So, Alejandro, if you want to pick somebody to go next, unless there was anybody that volunteered. If
Yeah.
anybody else has feedback too, sorry.
What about? Oh yeah, yeah. What about Karelia?
Yeah, I was trying to unmute myself. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I can go right now. Let me open my notes. All right. Sec. Okay. So, my connection goal is to bring myself to places where I can meet other people that are interested in art therapy, meditation, and spiritual practices in general. And the reason I have broadened that up for these other areas is it's because of because I feel that by focusing just in one branch at the moment, I'll find enough excuses to not do it. So the more I open myself to these other areas, I feel like I'm going to make progress, So the part of this connection goal is also to bring myself to the spotlight and to share more of my inner journey and to the processes that I'm working on and all these I guess challenges that I'm going through sometimes, and yeah, and connected with the tools that I'm using right now to bring myself into the present and to bring myself into myself, if that makes sense. And I chose this connection goal because I feel that I often tend to fall into my comfort zone, and this leads me to isolate myself or make things, from a little bit far, and I think I'm getting ready. I'm getting very ready, but I'm in the process of stepping more into the spotlight and feeling more confident about showing myself and yeah, and facilitate whatever I can. It resonates with me at the moment. And for this to happen, I'm letting go of self-doubt, which is very, it branches out into many other different limiting beliefs. But also, it's important for me to be aware of the distractions that I'm surrounding myself into, and taking the decision to put aside these distractions and refocus again on the goal. And I'm also letting go of financial worries and thinking and worrying too much about how I'm gonna make it on on my journey in general. But also another big one is also the over planning thing, that I tend to over plan things in order to do the best I can and stuff like that. But for this season, I believe it's important to really just not be afraid to fail, and just try and to make these connections, and try to surround myself with people that are already in the process. And yeah, and the metrics that I so far have only two, and the metrics I'm using is the amount or number of collaborations with other people. So and higher sense, another metric is like how to measure sort of my sense of fulfillment towards sharing these these goals that I have. So and I will feel completed in 12 weeks in these goals, when I have become more comfortable with myself and the way I share my gifts, my talents, and I also have connected with fellow spiritual practitioners and nurture myself from that connection as well. So I think that like being open to this from the purpose of really serving, because I think my purpose is to serve here. I'm here to serve. So it is difficult for me to really go out there. So in during the festival, I randomly met a woman in one of the concerts, and then at the next day I found it again in another random concert. There's like millions of, not millions, but like dozens of concerts at the same time. But the thing is, like, I feel that, and we got in contact, and she's so I think it really motivated me, the reason that feeling that I'm, as soon as I have the purpose and the intention to find these connections, I'm gonna be able to manifest them. So yeah, it really inspired me to set this as a goal for this season and do it. That's it.
I have some feedback that you're obviously, like, when you said random.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear all the random awesome people you're supposed to meet, because it's probably not that random, right? So way to go to put yourself out there and do all that, and and to serve.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess, yeah, this the synchronicities is like, I guess, a better word, for when we are for these situations, because I felt that, yeah, she was like definitely freaked out about that when we met for a second time. She was looking at me, and we didn't even speak. We were just like, okay, yeah. So I'm gonna probably meet with her very soon. I would like to hear what she's up to, and you know, it's just finding people, and then I feel that's gonna nurture those parts of myself that they need to be trained, because I'm very earth and water, and it gets difficult for me sometimes to call out the fire, but I'm working on it.
All right. And I also wanted to say I admire like about, not being afraid to fail. And I think that that's something that is a limiting belief that's blocking me. So I think that's something we can all learn from. And this is a space to be vulnerable and a space to, to try and to execute. And whether we're executing a learning or whether we're executing a success, we will see. So do you want to pick somebody to go next, or else have
I can pick Rosmari.
Hello. I'm just adding you to the group, by the way. That Guso just created, and so
The Fractogram group?
the Aquadac.
Okay, yeah. Cool. This is a fractogram for today though, right? It's not general Aquadac. Ooh, there's cool visual too. I like it.
Yes, just not sure how to add Alejandro, but I can add Alejandro just now. So anyway, my goal is to be more connected to my routine, and to be more specific, to connect natural cycles with work cycles. Okay, so I think I still have to work on my matrix, but one of the matrix to accomplish that, do I go through everything in my goal? Because we kind of did that last time. Or
you can just do quickly like about what the general goal is and the metrics if you want, because I think Corellia wasn't here last week.
yeah, so yeah, it's about connecting natural cycles with work cycles, and I've chosen my connection goal as my connection to a routine. And I chose this because I'm struggling with keeping a routine, especially when I'm going through changes. For example, when I'm distracted by change of environment, change in emotions, relationships, just the regular stuff, really. And for this to happen, I'm letting go of long-term distractions. And I'll know I'm on track by these metrics. For example, using Notion for all my projects, keeping a routine, and going to bed by 11 p.m. on weekdays. And I'll feel completed in 12 weeks in these goals when I have a better Notion workflow, ease in schedule, and connectivity with tasks and projects. And also prioritizing connections which make me grow, feel secure, and empowered. So this is like a brief overview, and then now from what happened last week. Right, so I've been working on improving the Notion workflow for work projects and tasks, which makes things easier to prioritize, and been talking loads about just prioritization and not much about, I guess, also time management, but not so much focus on that rather than just what needs to get done first. And which makes me keep priorities in mind and be aware of my actions and for how long I'm doing particular task, but it's not all the time, and I do get distracted, as still. And I was going to bed at around 11 or 12 each night, sometimes 1 a.m., but most of the time it was around 11:30. which is still past my goal. Basically, my goal is to go to bed at around 10 to 11 max, be asleep. So I kind of failed there. But I've been exercising and adapting to changes well. And as I'm traveling, and we're traveling last week too. So also building on a connection, mainly with Dan. And trying to balance this out as well with everything else, like with traveling and with priorities, like my personal priorities and work. And sometimes we spend like time with just talking about us, whereas like we know like we have to be working. But then it's difficult to put a hard stop on that. And I think that's what then I need to work on, like we need to work on. And it's not like a waste time, of course, but just have to keep in mind priorities. That's it from me. I'm passing it on to Dan.
Great, yeah. Go ahead, Dan. You got it covered.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Gudasol, and thanks, Rosmari. Looking forward to helping you achieve those goals and connect more. And also thanks, Dwayne and Gudasol and Corellia and Ombre for all the great connections and hearing. Something that Gudasol said, I think, last week that resonated a lot with me. Actually, it might have been actually where I heard about it, and this is a bit of a side note, but I watched the Community Stories show that Rosmari did, an interview with Gudasol, and one of the things you mentioned was like following people's progress from week to week, and like seeing people evolve in their journeys and everything like that. So that was really inspiring, and that whole interview was awesome. So that wasn't necessarily a music contribution or a work towards my goal there, but I thought that was really cool. And so it's awesome hearing from everybody, and I'm really excited about everybody's progress and where everybody will continue to grow together in this Aquadac. So with that, I also mention, well, I've been working to help Rosmari on the routine stuff, and I just love surfing. And so I want to just make a comment about that as well, that I also surfed a few times last week and it was amazing. So I'm looking forward to doing it more. Yeah. And then, yeah, I suppose I'll get into stuff that I've been doing. So first off, I just wrote this up pretty quickly. It's not too detailed, but there's some of my connection goals here. What's that? Dan gets Dwayne points. That's all right. There we go. I'll take him. Also, waves are like surfing. It's a different kind of music, really, but it is a form of riding the waves and music. So if we go with a poetic, metaphorical way, then count me towards achieving my musical goal here. So I just posted a little thing here, Dancing Joy in the USA, in the cosmos, really. You can check out my website and all those things like that. And my connection goal is connecting with music and musicians. This is similar to my rebirth goal from last season, kind of a continuation of it, where I made a lot of great progress and it was really valuable for me. But now I'm reorienting it more towards connecting with the tunes and connecting with the tunes makers. And yeah, I chose it because I love music and I want to connect more with musicians. And also, I just wrote a quick sentence here, but I can go more into detail because, as I've shared many times on here in the Aquadac meeting, I love music and I used to play music a lot more and like do a lot of live streams and play for hours every day and write songs and stuff like that. But lately, over the past couple of years, I haven't done that nearly as much, especially the past year, because I've been so busy with building with the Fractal and creators and making videos and all this different stuff that is building up towards music collaboration long term. But I haven't played nearly as much lately. But I'm playing more and more because of Aquadac. So for this to happen, I am letting go of working all day, pretty much every day, which is a bit of an exaggeration, but it's fairly close that I work a lot, and that's one of the reasons why I don't play as much music. And then I'm working to do more musical collaborations, music live streams, and writing songs. And I'll feel completed when I'm jamming every day with musicians and hopefully doing it a lot and like making great songs and sharing it. I like Ombre's goals too of getting lots of listeners and helping people enjoy it and financial independence from that stuff too. So I'll go with that. But just for now, my goals are just to just play the music and then see where it goes from there. So this past week, there's a bunch of different stuff, and I don't know, I didn't have a chance to like order it, so I'll just kind of mention it in random order or whatever came to mind first. One thing that I was excited to do this week was I showed Rosmari how to play ukulele and piano with some chords, because Rosemarie is an amazing singer and rapper, and she said that one of her dreams is to be able to play like chords and stuff to accompany while she's playing. Like play ukulele while she's singing. And so I was explaining how you can learn a relatively small amount of chords and then be able to play a lot of different songs. And so I showed her some of the different fingerings for how you play chords on piano and how you play chords on ukulele. And that was really cool. She learned quite quickly, and she still needs some more practice to get there, like more consistently. But she learned several chords on both of them, and that was really cool. She was playing the Eden song actually that I wrote, and we're planning to collaborate on that song. I shared it a couple of times at Aquadac meetings, I think once or twice. I also shared it during the Fractal DJ that I was in with Gudasol and Rosmari at the Eden Fractal anniversary. So that's a song by Eden that I wrote a year or 2 years ago, and I still haven't finished. But we're planning to collaborate on that, maybe at upcoming Fractal Apple. And we also sang Unchained Melody and watched a funny video that you remind me of about All My Loving by the Beatles, where I had like a ridiculous voice. So it was fun going back and watching some silly videos. Also, we played a little bit with the Groove Box app. I mentioned that a few times last week. And then last week, because we were traveling, the studio situation was a little bit messed up. I spent a lot of time just trying to get audio routing, which is a little bit tedious and time consuming. But now I'm back in the studio, so I'm working to set it up so I can play a lot more this week. During this week, I also went on the EOS Fireside Chat and I promoted Fractal DJ and like musical social games that we can play with Fractal condensed games and social games and the signals tools and apps that I'm building. I freestyle rapped a little bit, just a little bit on the Fireside Chat. There was like 70 people there, so I could have gotten more into it, and I told them I'd save it more for next time, but I did do a little bit of it, like a verse or so, and I told them that there's more coming. And then that inspired Stefan, the host, to challenge Brendan Lovejoy to have $1 million freestyle challenge for the ENF and the EOS and Pomelo. So I'm working on that going on. I also mentioned it again to Lovejoy yesterday during a town hall. So we're underway for a freestyle challenge, and I see some rappers in them getting excited. Might also help Umbre with the financial goals. There we go. Might not need that grant anymore if you just freestyle your way to it with that. Also,
hey, bro. Hey, good as all. It's our opportunity, bro.
That's right. That's right. Open up opportunities, helping Ombre with the listenership and that financial independence. And yeah, if you could share your music with the EOS community, that's awesome. There's a bunch of great people there, and I'm aiming to help do that, make it a more musical community. So very happy. And also, well, a couple other things. So I'm also working to prepare a pitch for Pomelo. I was talking about how we could help EOS and Pomelo grow with like really fun, like DJ and music challenges and stuff like that, where people can like be incentivized to share musical videos on TikTok about public goods and all sorts of stuff like that. So that was kind of not directly related towards playing more music, but setting up the way for more collaborations with music, which is a big goal of mine and something I'm working on. Also, at this week's Eden Fractal meeting, I hosted a Eden Fractal pitch session for public goods, where people could share public goods, and I gave extra rewards for people who shared fun pitches, and that I think helped inspire Dwayne to play an instrument which I don't recall the name of. It was like a taranjabu or something like that, and he sung.
Yeah, Tarango.
Tarango, yeah. So that was awesome. Thank you very much, Dwayne. That's kind of musical collaboration here, and Dwayne do that.
Patrick.
And Patrick too. Patrick also sung a song, which was awesome. And then I sung a bit of a Jason Mraz song, "Look for the Good," at the end of that. There was like 15 people there, and then I also met with Eric Westrek, and we were planning open mic night games at Lisa's coffee shop in Alien Worlds. So that's really exciting, and he's stoked about it. I'm stoked about it too. We can bring these out for all kinds of open mic nights, so people can play social games and win and stuff like that. Also planning the 4th episode of Fractal Apple that I'm going to be doing with Rosemarie, and I think we can invite all musicians. So if you all want to join and share a song or just share some thoughts, that would be really cool. We're going to do a live stream, I think, in the next couple of weeks. And I worked with Noam, and Noam watched the Fractal Apple, because I put up a mellow pitch for Fractal Apple where I did musical live streams with Rosmari and on my own a couple times in the past. And Noam watched the one that we did together with Rosmari, and he shared a clip with me about where I sung the song One by U2. And then I listened to that, and he shared some ideas about how we could have like more like incentives for people to cut video clips, which I'm really excited about. And that opens up a lot of opportunities for incentivizing people to create video clips from long live streams. Lastly, I went to a concert last week and I danced with my mom, and that was fun. And then I also danced with my mom earlier too. And then considering going to a concert tonight, and then I'm aiming to do a lot more music this week as well. So that's that. Sorry if that was a bit long, but I will wrap it up there and go music, I guess.
Yeah. Awesome, Dan. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. I'm very impressed. So, any other feedback?
Yeah, nice surf picture on your page. Like it.
Oh yeah, making the best experience possible. That's right. I'm all about that. Thanks, Dwayne. That's cosmic surfing, by the way. There's stars that are interspersed in there, so I'm all about that kind of thing.
Nice, nice.
All right. So I just opened up the room. So we're going to be using the voting thing, or the Telegram thing, so that we have a record. So that should be like an invite link. And okay, we got a Dan here.
Okay.
Oh, nice. The surfing GIF.
Inspired.
Okay. Is anybody not in the group?
No, I'm in. 6 members says.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and make the list. Although now I'm getting. Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Perfect. All right, so I just put the link up to vote.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Guys,
Same as me.
What's that?
it was just really silent.
Yeah, I was in deep deliberation trying to decide
Yeah.
which place.
Yeah.
Unmuted. Looks like we have a split between Dan and Ombre. So, in this event, we look back on exactly what we did in this past week. So Dan, I think we got a lot from you. can you just quickly clarify what was this past week? Or I guess really maybe it should be 2 weeks because we didn't really do much. As far as last week was more of an introduction than a thing. So just a quick summary, and then we'll have Omri do a quick summary too.
Okay, yeah, most stuff I mentioned I did do in the past week. So I showed Rosmari how to play ukulele and piano in the past week. We're planning to play the Eden song, although that wasn't like a big thing. We just talked about it a couple of times. Played the group box app a bit, played it more last week. And then the fireside chat stuff, promoting practice DJ and Signal game, Lovejoy, that was all this week. Practice meeting with Wayne, Patrick, and Jason Mraz.
Nice.
What's that, Curly?
Sorry, it's just like in the Telegram, it looks like Dan has 50 and Alejandro has 33 and Dwayne 17. So
yeah, I was
it's
going
not
to say exactly the
Yeah.
same, but yeah, I didn't want to interrupt.
Sorry, I did.
I don't understand. What were you saying? That's why we're having a
the-
talk, because we have to get to 66% to win.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's not just like, yeah, all right, I understand now.
Yeah, so basically nobody is winning until we have, it's supposed to be 2/3 plus one, but we usually let it slide with 2/3 here. So
I understand.
either two people would have to switch to Ombre or one person would have to switch to Dan.
Get it.
Oh, okay, got it.
Sorry, go ahead.
So,
Dan.
okay, Dan, yeah, go.
Okay. Yeah, just to continue, because Kudos asked me what was last week. I already shared the first few things, and then just to wrap it up, the Eden Fractal meeting where I played with Jason Mraz and played with Dwayne and Patrick, that was this week. And I was also planning the open mic night games with Eric this week. We met a couple days ago, and the planning fourth week back for Fractal Apple, that was mostly last week. But still planning on it. But that was a discussion from last week mostly. And then I worked with Gnome on the Signals games, and he shared the clip, and we discussed that back and forth this week. And then the concerts were this week as well. So mostly this week, but a bit from last week as well.
All right, and then Ombre.
Well, about last week, well, I did like the metrics. Also, I did like a party, a Soulfest here, where I made like a small session of listening the album and making connection with good musicians. I also collect like some profiles and information and phone numbers and emails from promoters, managers, and people that is working on the industry. And well, I'm preparing all the things for the releasing. We're going to make some like a photo shoot for the releasing of the album. So I connect with a really good photographer, and yeah, I think that's like the summary of it. I guess, yeah.
Kudos was deep in thought now. He's rubbing the chin.
That's that.
Yeah.
I just switched my vote. I don't think that it doesn't change anything. So
Well, it does change, because now if just one person switches to Ombre, which I think just did, now Ombre has 66%. Go.
Is it?
All right.
All
Perfect. Yeah, go Ombre.
Thank you, guys. Nice. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna set the level 5 poll. And the voting is now open. Okay, cool. So we have a congratulations to Dan.
Woohoo!
Bench number 5, and we're going right along here. So we have the next one open. Now it's gonna get. Yeah, to think.
Now it's super tight. It's like 33%. Oh no, that has changed. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Hmm.
All right, well, I win this round.
So good is always level 4, and now we're going for level 3, right? Okay, cool. You're muted, good as well. Muted.
Yeah, I thought I had 5 when I moved on, but as I said before, we do like 2/3 is usually acceptable in this group, and then we're still having a tie at level 3. Okay. So does anybody have any like clarifying questions for Corellia or Dwayne?
Yeah, I think that it's good if we make like the summary of what they have done the like past week.
Perfect. Yeah. So Corellia, you wanna do a quick summary, and then Dwayne?
yeah, I guess I didn't explain my metrics, but I didn't quite said what I did. And well, I'm I was working on content related to the earth element, nature therapy, and I already have all this written down, but I'm just taking a while to put it into a format. And also I today I finally I think for the first time, yeah, I sort of posted a video of myself talking and sharing a bit of what it's important or matters to me at the moment. So it was really big for me because I always I felt, I don't know, I'm sure of doing it. I don't know. There was always something holding me back. So, but I finally did it today. I feel really good. I feel really, really good about it. I didn't have any sort of self-doubt at all, which was really impressive to me. But and yeah, and also I scheduled some content to post related to the same sort of message that's gonna be posted later. And yeah, I'm just really keeping myself on track about this the rhythm, you know.
We know. All right, Dwayne, a quick summary, please.
Yeah, quick summary. I did my initial stats, took some initial pictures, and kind of figured out what my metrics are going to be to like share as far as like exercises, breath work, stuff like that. And then I put a lot of effort. I don't know if it helped me achieve my goal of surfing, but I put a lot of effort this week into moving closer to the beach. So that's about it.
That's really great. I've been doing a lot of breath work as well, actually. I did a really intense Wim Hof breathing session, and I completely lost consciousness. I passed out.
Oh, I love that. I just learned a new Wim Hof breathing that I do after
Yeah.
the Kundalini yoga, and it's like so much better than I was doing before. I thought I knew what I was doing, but now it's like, yeah, it's next level. So that's like, yeah, and how long you can hold your breath in and out. Yeah, that's gonna be one of my metrics. I'm gonna like measure that before I pass out.
That's great. Yeah. I'm also, oh, man, I'm also, oh my God, it's just the children. I'm crying out there. I can't focus. What I was gonna say is like, I'm also organizing a structure for to learn about breath work. So I'm planning to get some books and sort of, instruct myself into, sort of self-taught myself about this matter, because it's just getting a certification for breath work is so fucking expensive right now. It's just crazy, and I have looked for so many options, and it's just they all seem crazy. So yeah, I'm just gonna start learn about that, and I was really grateful yesterday because I felt that I really reset my nervous system, and then I went into the ocean, and then I fucked myself up really. So it was good because I think it sort of reset some stuff that released some energy along my joints, because I did hit all my joints. I hit both of my elbows, my knees, my back, and it was.
Were you standing up?
No. It's just the waves were really big, and it was a stone beach, you know. So that's why I hit myself, because the wave just hit me against the rocks. But it was good. I'm fine. I'm fine. But I think it is a good thing, because I I feel that it was good for my body somehow. Yeah. But yeah, about the breath work, I'm really gonna integrate into my goals. I've sort of forgotten it for a bit. I don't know why. But I'm gonna integrate that as well, because I think that's really important for me as well right now at the moment. Yeah, I'm gonna re-edit my goals for the next week.
All right, so I think we've heard from both people. So if anybody wants to adjust their votes, now is the time. As we are standing right now, we have 3 votes for Corellia, 2 votes for Dwayne, and 1 vote for Rosmari. So we're looking for 66%. So we would need either 1 more vote for Corellia or 2 for Dwayne.
I'll just add a couple of thoughts here. One, really interesting to hear about the breath work. I'm also a huge fan of Wim Hof as well. I've done a lot of Wim Hof's breathing exercises, and he's been a huge inspiration. And I'm looking forward to learning a lot more from him, because I think that there's a lot of great thoughts there in addition to all breath work. So glad to hear Dwayne and Curly are both exploring that. I hope you also stay safe too, because it could be dangerous if you pass out in the wrong situation. So just word of caution. Hope you're all doing well with it. And then I want to put out there that Curly can change her vote to herself, I believe. She previously voted for Rosmari, but if she voted for herself, then she'd have consensus for herself, I think.
that would be good. Also, I know that I say like in this meeting that this isn't about sort of sharing our teachings, but I wrote this article a few years ago about Wim Hof, and I absolutely love the Wim Hof breathing method. And I also want to get more into breath work. So Aquadac breath side quest.
Yeah, I like to share some of the stuff I learned too. It's amazing. I learned from like an expert lately at a big retreat. So yeah, we'll have to talk about that at another meeting. Just do a breath work meeting.
Amazing. Yes, I would love to. I think I'm gonna buy this book about holotropic breathing as well. I think I'm gonna put myself into that as well.
Yeah, just went through a holotropic thing, and it was amazing at a big like medicine retreat. It was as powerful as the medicine, or if not more powerful.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Super cool. Let's do it sometime. Read, motherfucker. Yes.
Cool. So congratulations, Corellia, on securing the next place. And Dwayne, a fall from grace. You were number one last, and now you are now you are at the very bottom. But I hope that is a motivation to.
Oh, I think we got Rosmari and the left. Yeah, but almost at the bottom.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just got one more round.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm not doing my job. Here we go. Okay, so there's another poll. Okay, so. Okay. So we are waiting on Corellia's vote, but it looks like.
Sorry, I went outside a bit. What did I miss? Sorry.
You're good. Take care of the kids. Don't worry.
I do. You're gonna meet some people? I do.
Yeah.
I do. Mira, mi amor. Cariño.
Hi. Hello.
Hola.
Hola.
¿Quieres decir hola, Elusa?
Does she speak Spanish? The kid?
It's a boy, and then he speaks 5 languages.
Really?
Yeah. I do.
Level 6.
He speaks Bulgarian, Japanese, Spanish, English, and Romanian.
How can you?
Oh wow!
What?
How comes he speaks?
But yeah, can you speak in Bulgarian?
Wow.
Rosmari.
Yes, of course, yeah.
I speak.
Can you let him know first, at least?
Yeah, he's listening now.
Здравей.
I do. No, I think he's a bit shy now. It's just, I think something happened.
How come?
He was crying.
Wow.
Cariño. There.
Almost like one language per year, you know?
Yeah, I know. He is only 3 years old.
I always wonder, like with kids like that, if they just mix up a sentence, like they start a sentence in English and then go to Spanish and then Bulgarian.
Yeah.
And then, like,
It's
I
crazy
would think
because
it would be so confusing.
he makes up his own language sometimes. He just came up with words that, that doesn't belong to any language. He just make it up his own language. I do. Hola.
Oh.
Hey.
I do. You want to say hi? Hola. Mira, este es Alejandro, Goodasol, Dwayne, Rosemary, and Dan.
Hola.
Hola. Okay, mi amorcito. Okay, guys. What was the thing that I missing on the last vote, right?
Yeah, just that last bit.
Oh,
but
okay.
I think, well, yeah.
Oh, I guess it doesn't have. Yeah, it says it's already.
Invite the boy to play as well with us. He'll probably outdo us.
Yeah.
My goal is to connect all of the languages into my own language.
Yeah, I think he can. He's really cool. He's amazing. He has a lot of energy. He's yeah, one of those boys that has lots of energy. So it's sometimes hard to how to work with him. Mira, mira, amor, ven. Ellos quieren jugar contigo también para que tú aprendas cositas. And he loves unicorns, as you can tell.
Oh man, we got a pixie back here. Oh yeah, he has real unicorns, like
Yeah, he has lots of unicorns.
anatomically accurate unicorns.
Okay. Okay, I already voted, and I think that Dwayne is still on level 2. Right?
Okay. Yep. Awesome.
Nice.
Congratulations. We have our consensus for this week. Congratulations to Hombre Solar for pulling in first place.
Congratulations. Yes.
Woo!
Yeah, I was
And-
gonna say, Alejandro, I saw a bit of what you did in Curaçao's Instagram, I think. And I think that's amazing because organizing a whole sort of thing, it's like a lot of work, and you did amazing. And all these
Thank
connections that you did is just, it really inspires me. Yeah.
Thank you. That's nice.
Good.
I'm happy to inspire you, and all of you guys inspire me too. And it's really nice to have these aquatic meetings to share our goals. Yeah.
Yes, Hombre is a great party planner, highly recommended. And yeah, it was so nice. It was so nice to just be like, okay, you're in charge of the party. Like, that's what I did. That was my, and I made the sign.
Yeah. So if you want to invite me to Costa Rica or to UK or United States, just call me.
Perfect. Yeah, we're gonna have an event in the spring. So yeah.
Okay, nice. Okay.
All right, guys. Well, we will go ahead and wrap it up. Although I'm planning to stay on to talk about to talk with Dan about the ENF and things like that. But I was thinking we can do like a little sign off for the video. That way I can screenshot. A lot of noise. Okay, I got it. Okay. So yeah, let's do the quick standoff, but it's gonna be like a fake kind of send off. I'm gonna record, or shoot, I'm gonna get like a little screen, like something so I can get a screenshot, and then I can have that screenshot for the little update I'll make after this meeting.
By the way,
and then we'll stick around and talk. Yeah. Or go ahead, Dan.
sounds good. I was gonna say that new workflow I have where I can just upload videos that I record directly to Google Drive right after the call, and so you can take a screenshot from there as well for the future. And now I know how to do that easily, so I can send them to you much quicker.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Perfect. All right. Well, you ready to sign off, guys? And then we'll stick.
Están haciendo señas, mi amor. ¿Quieres gritar tú también?
Oh, beautiful.
Nice.
Okay, we are now in the after section.
Should I keep the recording going, by the way, Gudaso, or should I wrap it up? Or
Yeah, go ahead and end it and upload it, and then we can stick around. If anyone wants to jump off, you're welcome to. But yeah, I was wanted to answer any questions from Dan about, like, I guess the ENF grant process and what we're doing with Tetra and things like that. I think it is definitely an opportunity with the ENF grant process for you, Dan. So yeah, take it away if you'd like to have any
I have
questions.
one quick question first, or just a request. Could you post your?
Sure.
You said you had a white paper on Tetra
I
or
did
something
not
like
say
that.
that.
You
So
said
I have a,
something.
I have a Web4 paper.
Okay,
That's
that's what I
what you
want.
mean.
Yeah, if
And
you could
then
post that.
I have a white paper for purple, and I have a maps paper. The maps paper is pretty cool, actually. So
Yeah,
the
you
maps,
intrigued me with the whole, regen ag and permaculture because I'm part of a couple communities doing that in Costa Rica. So, and then also part of a group, ladies called Tree Jenny. It's community carbon trees, and she's been going for 23 years here and almost planted 1 million trees. So the real deal. A lot of these are greenwashing initiatives, and hers, like you can actually see the forests that she planted. So I go out with her once or twice a week, and there's some pardon the pun, but there's some low hanging fruit there where she hasn't collected the actual credits or any other value except, what's the obvious, like, better jobs, better communities, and forests that are being, that are there. So yeah, I'd like to connect with you, and I'll read some of this and see where there seems to be some crossover. So I just wanted to leave it at that, to plant the seed, another, pardon the pun, to like, yeah, there's probably some crossover here.
I'm just laughing at Curly holding the kid upside down. Yeah, so what we are like, God, there's some echo.
Just by the way, Goose, I didn't stop recording it. I
think it's Alejandro.
Just shake the button now. I'm happy to keep.
Yeah, no worries.
Whatever.
I'm not gonna share anything legally questionable. So what we're doing is we're creating like a new global financial system. And one of the reasons that we don't talk about it publicly is because it is very stepping on people's toes. And, there's a lot of interests and ideas that go into creating something like that. And the way I look at it is either we create something better or somebody else is going to create something that serves them. So I'm trying to develop the economics to serve the most people as possible. On that platform, we do have like a sort of project funding aspect, but as far as I see it, that's it's almost unique in that it's something that fits into the system itself, right? So I would love to hear more about the project, and I think that eventually we can incorporate just about any project, even if it's already on other project platforms. Our goal isn't really to be its own platform; it's more to make you brighter, make you shine brighter, offer free promotion, and then give people, empower people's voice so that the people who want to support things in a local area can simply give their opinion. So they don't have to monetarily donate, but just simply give their opinion. And then that will financially contribute to the project, as well as add to its discoverability and its sort of like promotion within the system itself. And Dan, I know that you said something about the ENF. If you had questions about that, or I don't know if you were just sort of curious about Tetra. Also, it doesn't have to be all about me. Like, if anybody else wants to share anything, they can, or share ideas related to this. My goal is connection for this month, so I certainly want to connect with you all while we're here.
Sounds great. Oh yeah, happy to connect as well. And yeah, just as a note, I didn't. Perhaps I should have just hit the stop recording button when you said so, but it still is recording. But you can cut this part, or I can stop it now or at any point. I think it's also cool to have it on recording too, the conversation. But totally up to you. If you want me to hit the button now, then I can hit the button now.
You can keep recording if you have the Google Drive space and it's cool for you. Yeah, it's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, I mean, the touch is really interesting. I saw it on Pomelo for the first time, and I'd seen your name, but I saw you had the Pomelo project, and I supported it a bit, and I read through it a bit, but it was really late at night, so I didn't have a chance. I was like pretty tired, so I didn't read it too closely, but it looked cool. And then I see the website for the first time now, and also you have so much going on with like this also maps. I don't know how maps ties into Tetra. And I'd be curious if you want to just like, I don't know, like an elevator pitch, like high level overview, because you have so much here and I see project overview. But if you had to like, I don't know, just well, one, I'm curious about your experience with ENF grant framework, because I'm thinking of applying for that too. So that's kind of a side thing. But then I'm also interested specifically in what your goals are with Tetra. So I don't know if you want to answer both those or respond to both those at the same time or whenever. But I'm curious, I guess, one, about your experience with the ENF grant framework, and then two, if you want to just like provide a high level overview of Tetra and what you're aiming to do and how it might synergize or fit in with MAPS and your other initiatives.
Sure. So about like the Tetra initiatives, I'm sorry, about like the ENF. Basically, it's you have to apply through GitHub. So it's like a markdown document that you have to basically fill out the template. It's really complicated. It's like, it's one of these things that, oh, it seems like, oh, this is going to be easy. The first one I filled out took me about 10 hours to completely do it. And that was for CXC, and I applied with that, and basically I got denied because I was disqualified, because we have a token, right? And if you have a token sale, you cannot apply for grants from the ENF. So I applied for Tetra, and it took me maybe 6 or 8 hours to do that one. But really, like, the application process is centered around milestones and like a full-time equivalent of an employee. So you can pick the team that you want, and then you get a couple of milestones. And I recommend, from my research or whatever, to do like 1 milestone per month. And then, like, I'm not sure if like you have to do the milestone and then they pay you, or if they pay you for like the first milestone and then not until any extra milestones. But yeah, that's basically how it works. You fork the repo to make you make the markdown document, and then you make your changes, and then you send a pull request to the repo. And then there's like a automated process, which is actually pretty cool, in the repo, that whenever you submit it, it like does all these checks automatically. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then I guess, depending on how much funding you ask for, it could take for just 2 people have to approve it. If you're asking for less than 10,000, if you're asking for up to 50,000, then you need to have like 3 people approve it. And then it's like harder if you want to ask for more than 50,000. So we asked for like 2 months of funding and $10,000 to build basically tools that will help anybody on Antelope, tools to empower memos, as well as a referral system to sort of help build apps. So what I chose that kind of because I thought it was something more like a public good, but also something that I need for the project. And my goal really is to work to have a good relationship with the ENF, as well as to be able to hire programmers. But yeah, like that's the process. It is a little bit tedious, but it's pretty straightforward. Yeah. Oh, and then I can talk about Tetra too, but I'll give you a chance to respond to that, Dan.
Well, that sounds great. So thank you. I guess there's one question, or yeah, maybe one question, but yeah, really appreciate just hearing your insights about it. And I think I'm going to do this soon too. So do you say you've done this twice now? So you did it once and that took you 10 hours, but that was basically denied because you had a token. And I'm wondering, like, you can have a token, but it just can't be a token sale. It looks like the internet. Oh, okay. So you had a token, but you can't have a
Yeah, you can't have a token sale.
Okay, cool. Or it makes sense, I suppose. And then, so you did it for like 10 hours the first time, sometime a year or months ago or something like that for CXC, I think. And then you did it again for the second time here with Tetra. And then did it still take you like 10 hours, or after learning it, did you have like ways to do it quicker, or
yeah, it took me like 6 hours at least.
Okay.
I mean, it's just like, it's one of these things, like, number one, you have to figure out exactly what you want to deliver. And what I suggest is that you overload your vision and you underload your deliverables. And what I mean by that is like, it's natural for us to want to like overpromise things. Like when I did the CXC grant, I promised to do like a lot for the same amount of money. And the thing about these grant frameworks is they really want to work with you long term. A lot of times we think, oh, okay, well, oh, maybe they'll give me $10,000. Maybe I'm worth it. But what they really want is they want you to be worth $1 million. They want you to do the first grant successfully. Then they want you to do the second grant successfully. Then they want you to do the third grant successfully. So do think about your goals in a long-term sense and think of it as like, okay, I'm applying for this first round of funding as like, to set things up, to do like a small amount to show them, to show the ENF that you're going to over deliver, that you're going to do a really good job, so that later on when you ask for 50,000 and you have like milestones that are a little bit more complex, they're more likely to trust you and to honor that.
Okay, sounds great. That makes sense. That's great advice, and I appreciate it.
Cool. All right, well, I'll go ahead and do a little Tetra pitch if that's cool.
Sounds good.
So, all right, I'm going to read you like the working version of our elevator pitch. It's not quite finished, but I'm just going to go ahead. Tetra is pioneering the next phase of blockchain technology, bringing a transformative vision that is to blockchain what Tesla is to automobiles. We're building life grid platforms, envisioning a connected, abundant world where knowledgeable opinion is empowered and transparent voice governs. Our mission is to empower and foster healthy connections with layers of financial, commercial, and social services that utilize time as an asset and value humans as vital stewards for the ecosystem. Imagine Reddit on a map and capitalism on UBI. At Tetra, we're fostering these grids of empowering win-win relationships where opinions are cultivated and personal discernment is honored. So I'm actually kind of jumping into a different version here. So I apologize if I'm repeating. We offer zero interest loans that repay themselves, daily income, and local first content curation approach. Our unique financial agreements support local services and global assets while promoting transparent legal agreements. Ultimately, Tetra is about replacing or replicating nature's abundance and harmony in our financial systems, enabling a society to synchronize with the planet, solar system, and the galaxy. With Tetra, we're not just building a platform, we're building a future where everyone can receive to give. And that's the elevator pitch.
So what exactly is it?
Yeah. So what we are, well, okay, so we're a series of fundamental technology that you kind of have to understand. So like number one is like the me NFT, and that's sort of like the basis. That's like your, I guess, what your, I don't want to say like your passport, but your unique identifier as a human. Once you have the me NFT, you can operate within like our projects, and our system operates within namespacing. So we have like a .ra, like ra is where the token contracts are going to live. The .ra namespace is for local currencies. So each nation is going to have its own currency based upon the nation itself, not based upon like US dollar or Colombian pesos and things like that. Then there's also a .ra namespace, which I'm not sure, like this is kind of a little technical thing that you can do on EOS. Like you can, you're not supposed to do it, but you can use like .dot or .dot as like a namespace. So the secondary namespace will be this raw. The third is the like your vanity wallets, which allows us to basically run custodial wallets for people. Then how it really works is you have like similar jurisdictions in like the CXC beta demo. I kind of showed like exactly what that system kind of looks like. But each of these projects, so each person exists within a jurisdiction. Within that jurisdiction, you can vote on social projects within that jurisdiction, and you can vote on economic projects and personal projects globally. Those social projects then get extra exposure, and then they get money. And then with the commercial projects, they get your token, and then they can offer you a benefit, right? So you could have like a discount or something like that by giving your opinion and saying, okay, I want to promote this. So you do that by publishing a list. And your list is something that you have to update every month. And your list shows, okay, here's the local projects, the social projects that I support in my area. It doesn't cost you any money to publish this list. It's just, here's who I'm looking at, here's who I like, and then if you don't update that list within 1 month, then we sort of stop funding it, right? So it's an active thing. And then you also have your list for commercial projects, and then you also have your list for personal projects, which on that list you can vote for yourself. So then you get like money as for being the curator.
When you say we, funding, like who is we?
So we is the system itself. There's like multi-pool tokenomics. I'm not exactly sure what it would be called, but we have like a global currency, and then that global currency is balanced into local currencies, which operate on the .ra namespace. So the inflation would be of local currencies, which could be converted into the global currency and then converted back into local currency. So we're inflating that local currency based on how many projects are in the area. That local thing we're inflating is also tied to the global currency. So that's like almost like an anchor of liquidity. And then yeah, I hope I'm answering your question, but that's where like the financial payment comes from, is we have the local currency that's connected to the global currency. The reason that the local currency is valuable is because it operates for advertising on the platform. So you could purchase, a company would want to purchase this because they could get like to the top of the charts, which is the sort of competition aspect of that. And they could do that by purchasing the local currency, which would decrease the supply or whatever, or increase the demand.
Mm. Do you have a question?
Not right now. No. That's been very insightful and informative and very interesting so far. So yeah, I'm looking forward to learning more and hoping however I can. And yeah, thanks so much for sharing it. I'll also probably listen to this again. I'm glad that we got on recording so I can further absorb it. But on first hearing, it sounds really cool and interesting, and I'm very excited to see Tetra grow. And it seems like it can be super helpful for many people. And if there's anything else you want to add there, Gudasol, then I'd be curious to hear. But I know we've also been on for a while too, so I don't want to keep you too long or keep anybody too long. But it sounds fascinating, though.
Sorry, somebody else.
I also
Go
have
ahead. Sure, Rosmari.
where is the .ra
Is that a wax account?
gonna be stored?
Yeah, so it's like a wax account. I actually, so I bought the name, and I haven't registered the name. So whenever you buy a name, it's basically you have the right to register it. And I was thinking of doing it today because it's like the 4th of July. It's kind of like a freedom day. So where does it exist? It does not exist yet. I have not minted the name. I just bought the name raw. So what's going to happen is, one way to do it is to have all of the nations exist on one contract, and that's actually probably what it's actually going to be. It's actually going to be raw itself is going to have each individual token on that one contract, but then the col.ra, which should be like Colombia's contract, would have all of the financial aspects of that. So that's probably going to be how it works. Although, like, honestly, this sort of technical stuff can change at this point.
Oh, sounds great, to be honest. It really made me think about how
Cool.
I'm spending my time on Earth. I'm not even joking.
Cool. Well, I hope that we're all spending our time on Earth a little bit better here. And thank you all for sticking around longer to listen to stuff about Tetra. And I do appreciate the questions. I also, I want to encourage anybody else who wants to dive into their project and host like an after party or something like that. That is in our founding documents. We talk about that, about people who want to host an after party. But without further ado, that's all I got. If anyone else has anything they want to share, now is the time.
Yeah, I just support you in the reputation system. I've been trying to implement a reputation system on EOS since I started in EOS in 2008. Had a big development team, and we had a commercial client. I had a commercial client, Zigzags, as a client that wanted to embed reputation and participation. Unfortunately, it just didn't go forward. But yeah, I think starting with that kind of open source, other people can use that technology. I'm just putting a bug in your ear that I would use that in different things on EOS and Wax. And it's kind of just the next step in a reputation system. But we should get, some cred, and some benefit from referring people into networks, right? So yeah, an on-chain referral system, I think you'll have really good success with. I know it's just not myself that wants that for different membership groups, private or public.
Yeah, I'm also working on something more close to now of like notifications for like atomic asset collections, so that if you like, I'm gonna have a smart contract that once you just deploy the smart contract and set your notifications from your collection to go to that contract can mint or can send out tokens to people who are trading your NFTs on the market, so that you can like just the extra incentive. And hopefully for next week, I'll have something more to say about that. But yeah, I totally agree. Like, referral systems are what lets us grow. So I hope that the ENF does fund it. And I hope that I can make something that's really a win-win situation, right? Because at the end of the day, like, people need to make money. Like, energy has to be coming at a shorter route, right? And with referral systems, if you do it correctly, and one thing I think that is important is to limit the time so that it's more of a hands-on referral. So if you can only invite one person per day or 3 people per week, you're more selective about that. So anyway, I'm getting a lot of ideas, a lot of tangent, but I thank you for the encouraging words, and I look forward to sharing progress on that as well. That's all I got, guys. Any last words, or we can have another little peace out thing?
Look forward to the breathwork DAC.
The air DAC.
Air DAC, yeah. Or Aero DAC, maybe, to stick with the the sound of it.
Okay, air DAC. I like it.
And then Marco will be all over that one too, probably.
Yeah, he'll glide in there. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you next week.
Awesome.
Peace.
Yeah.
Bye. Thank you.
Peace. Adios.
Peace.
Yeah, peace.